Hey, my name's Savage. You can call me Dave, and I'm in the rabbit house. You can maybe hear the wind out there. It's kind of raging. Um, got gusts probably hitting 70, 80 miles an hour today. And just real quick before I give these ladies their pellets, I want to do another quick video. I'm doing these consecutive day videos, mostly just so I could learn some skills with the equipment kind of thing. So it's probably nothing earth shattering, probably nothing anybody wants to follow or anything like that. But I know I've I was thinking about the things because I like to talk about things, right? Not just what I'm doing out here, but things that's going on in the world. Um, Try to avoid politics. I'm not really committing to avoiding politics. At some point, it's probably unavoidable to talk about them. They affect us all, you know. That said, I I will talk about things though, right? Categories. I guess they're things that become political, you know, like policing in America, racism, that type of stuff, right? I don't know if I've got much cause to talk about some things, you know, gender identity stuff like that. I don't really think I've got much. I don't think I got much to add there. Um, but there's some things that I do believe that maybe we don't think of at the depth we should, even as voters or as citizens, and just kind of things where terminology's thrown around, accusations, things like that. It's really kind of bizarre because I just don't. The narratives are so twisted, and you can kind of see that they're narratives, there's manipulation there, right? You kind of understand the mind numbing tools that they use to get you to believe something or to get you to hate each other, get you angry, and I just don't see the point in that. You know, there's a few things I've spent enough time pondering, doing some research, things like that, to make up my own mind. Um, you know, not I mean, there's just, and I'll go into depth on these things later, probably just in videos, just have stuff to talk about. One, I got to work on looking at the lens of the camera, not at the picture, and I got to avoid looking away, which is kind of natural for me. So I'll work on looking at the camera. Um, but there's just stuff. Uh, where was I going with that? There's things. I'm a conservative person, obviously. I don't call myself a Republican anymore, and that's largely because of the things I've learned on my own. Just looking around and seeing things and realizing, yeah, those narratives aren't right. Right? I've got, you know, I think, you know, a lot of people that vote like me would probably call me a leftist over my view on policing. Some of those things, the thin blue line. Don't hate cops, but I'll get into all that later. I have no hatred for anybody. Um, but stuff like that, right? I think we throw the word hero around in America a little too easily. You know, a job doesn't make a hero; actions do, right? So that's stuff for another time. Another one I think probably I would disagree with most conservatives on is I think that I think the whole college scam has been a high crime. I think it's been a high crime against the American people. I honestly do. I don't. You know, people want to bust the chops of millennials and Gen Zers and stuff like that for picking up all this college debt. They were sold a bill of goods, man, and it was a lie, right? So I don't. I have nothing but a heart for those people. Personally, I believe the government should be stripping endowments from universities and paying those loans off their own self, and that the government should eat the other half because they're the predatory lenders. That's what I think. Where else in life do predatory lenders not eventually have to pay the price for what they've done? And that is predatory lending. They've just flat lied to these people. You know, I mean, there just is no careers for underwater lesbian basket weaving or something like that, right? There's no careers for that. So regardless of somebody, if a child thought that they saw a future in that, and adults were promoting it and encouraging them to do it and things like that, I just think think you have to have a little no fault thing, right? Especially if we're all going to agree that the brain isn't fully developed till 25 and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense to me that we can predatory lend on people like that. I think it's crooked, and I think it should be fixed. And I've got others too. I don't toe any political line. That's why I don't call myself that. I'm not a libertarian, because you go too far libertarian and you go too far Wild West, and I don't really think that's fine for a guy like me. I can protect what's mine. I don't have a problem with that. But there's a lot of people that just aren't capable of doing that. They aren't capable of protecting themselves, their homes, things like that. And I think there's other ways we could do this. Another one is, law enforcement, politicians. They tend to really, really dislike watchers, people who watch professionals, and watch them for wrongdoing and crookedness and things like that. I look at this auditing, these guys that are doing First and Second Amendment audits and stuff like that. It blows my mind that police aren't using them as a resource, right? Just look it up for yourself and see how many crimes the police have made no progress on or given up on that that have been solved by Reddit, right? Things like that, right? There's some really talented people out there in the ways of the internet, in particular, and they do great things. So while there's all this wickedness on the internet, there's also some really good stuff. There's people doing really good things. Obviously, that can get carried away, but how much time can we cut off some of these things if we were using resources and talented people like that to help solve crimes? Somebody doesn't necessarily have to be in a business suit for a city or county government to pay them a consulting fee, and to help solve crimes. We're going through forensics that could take months, sometimes years, and people on the internet can kind of do it right now, right? There's some people that are just really good at it. So there's things like that, thoughts that go through my head that I want to talk about. Not right now. I'm standing in the rabbit house, so I was working on my equipment so that I can do sit-down camera work, but I'm having trouble getting my camera to work as a webcam on my computer, my desktop computer right now. Because I'm kind of, it's my other thing, right? I'd never call myself a farmer. I have too much respect for a real farmer. I wouldn't call myself a homesteader, right? A farmsteader, anything like that, because then you see people always challenge, well, that's not a real homesteader. I wouldn't call myself an off-gridder because someone said, well, that's part of the grid, or they kind of pick at little things, and everybody's looking for a gotcha. I don't care about gotchas, but I'm not going to put myself in a box so that somebody can come analyze whether I've chosen the right box or not, right? It's just not my speed. So anyhow, you'll see the wind's out there, but it's not touching the bunnies. Oh, Thumper, my man. There's Thumper. There's Poncho, the men. I don't know on camera if we're even gonna see. There she is. What's up, Dollface? She's like, yeah, shut up, give me that pellet. There we go. We got K2 over here. She looks agitated, but her name's Karen too because she's kind of always agitated. Here's my Alice though. Yeah, what's up, baby? So anyhow, that's what's going on. This wind is brutal. I actually thought about getting some more stuff with the animals and things. I did hear a cat meowing outside the door a minute ago, so they probably know I'm in here. But yeah, not much to do with the animals except for put my hood on, put my glasses on, try to keep my face out of the wind, and it's not cold. It's probably 50 degrees or something out. So it's not really cold, but the wind is just brutal. You got to watch walking around this stuff because you never know what's going to fly by, So anyhow, that's it. I'll keep the video streak alive while I determine what this channel is going to be about. I think I'm enjoying it, but I do need to get into more in the editing, and get my OSB Studios and stuff working so that I can, kind of a stream, not really stream, just to do videos, but to have that kind of setup. So that I can discuss things on there too, just in case there's anybody out there who wants to discuss them. So anyhow, that's the things clicking around the old cranium today. If any of that hits a hits a short hair, feel free to leave a comment or something about it. They don't even have to be nice. I don't really care. I just want dialogue. I like if the dialogue's not pleasant, I just won't have it. But it definitely doesn't have to agree with me. I don't need anybody to agree with me on anything. I pride myself in thinking for myself, and I like people who think for themselves as well. So anyhow, that's it. Let me take care of these bunnies. I love you. Jesus loves you. Peace.